Unfortunately, due to the incredible span of time between the creation of this video and the actual voice filming, many portions of this theory have been debunked by the creators of My Singing Monsters. Therefore, regard this video as merely a fun thing to think about, although some parts still could be true. Everyone knows the WERDO'S, the multicolored, horned, backwards-legged monsters who magically popped into existence and know English. But how well do we really know them? In today's episode, they finally get a chance to be in the spotlight while we dive into the history and natures of the WERDO'S to find out what exactly they are hiding. But before all that, let's look at a speculation for what islands the WERDO'S will be on in the future. I had a detailed chart until the Persona was released on Air Island and destroyed my ideas. Now here's a new, slightly more accurate but sloppy prediction. Starting off with what we know are in the top 3 segments: Talker and Persona on Plant Island, Talker and Magpie on Cold, and Persona and Steward on Air Island. The number of islands that these WERDO'S appear on start with Talker and Persona on 2 islands, and Magpie and Steward on 1 each. The number of appearances will probably be equal amongst WERDO'S in the end, and knowing that they will be released on Water and Earth Islands, we now have 3 appearances for each and every WERDO. An overflow of 2 can be easily plunked on Ethereal Island because the dipsters did the same. Big Blue Bubble would probably want an equal male to female ratio, so Steward should be paired with Persona next. Then there should probably be a male on male and female on female island, Earth and Ethereal, although we don't know which one is which yet. Moving onwards from that, we'll now take a close look at the WERDO'S shocking past. Not that kind of shocking. First up, the introduction of Mirror Islands. The first 5 Mirror Islands were introduced in the version 2.0.0, which was released on August 31st, 2016. Only 3 updates later, the introduction of Composer Island and various bug fixes, then out popped 2.0.4, the arrival of the WERDO'S. Now, what do Mirror Islands and updates have to do with anything? The answer lies in the past. My Singing Monsters' Dawn of Fire. Known by many as the Golden Age of the Elements. Fire was going strong, monsters thrived, and the continent channeled elemental power, coexisting in complete harmony. New monsters were being discovered left and right, and minerals were mined. The WERDO'S lived on the continent as babies too. Let's just say that all the baby monsters were ruled by a nanny, or a king. A fat king. A king WERDO. Named Scretch. King Scretch, ruler of the continent. Now this is where things get strange. For some reason no one will ever comprehend, the WERDO'S weren't too happy with the regular food items. Rocks, cacti, acorns, and big piles of slime. I mean, who wouldn't want to eat that? So naturally, the WERDO'S began looking for alternative sources of food. Now perhaps they preferred fire monsters because they were spicy, but who knows? It's possible that they hunted other normal monsters as well. Either way, they began to chow down faster than a thwalk on a dessert table. The other monsters got wind of the trouble, and the 2 sides emerged, the predator versus the prey. An epic battle commenced, and during the said battle, the continent was ripped apart from the sheer power of the blows. All the fire monsters, ones left alive anyway, scrambled into the volcano to hide, which later drifted away to become Firehaven. Meanwhile, the well-fed WERDO'S, with extra provisions provided by the war, gradually disappeared along with the broken-up continent they were on. And that is why WERDO'S arrived so soon after the Mirror Islands, which were the original continent, were discovered. Okay, so that was a lot of information, but we're not done yet. Our next topic is the relics. An item you can use to buy the WERDO'S with. It's been confirmed that WERDO'S eat relics to gain vocalization skills. Now this is starting to sound familiar, and I have 2 theories. Either the WERDO'S possess the ability to turn singing monsters into music notes, which they then eat to be able to sing, or, my other option, as said by Persona on Plant Island, a note becomes a monster. Basically meaning that a note is a monster soul. Dark stuff. The music notes also have to be preserved in some way if they have to last a long time. The WERDO'S can coat their food in amber to create the relic we're familiar with, and when hunger strikes, they can crack it open and slurp out the innards like a disgusting musical egg. It's like having a fridge full of food. This may explain how the Canaan tribal island keeps getting trapped in amber every time you break her out, and the WERDO'S do all this while seeming perfectly fine to the oblivious monsters. Maybe not quite so oblivious, however. There is a monster who may know the secret of the WERDO'S, the dipster. There are many questions about dipsters you may ask. What does it look like underground? Do these monsters live alone or in nests? All those questions will be answered in another video. As of now, we'll stick to WERDO related questions. So what's the link between the WERDO'S and these cute, seemingly innocent ground-dwelling creatures? Well, you can see, back in Dawn of Fire, the dipsters were aware of the WERDO'S hunger for fire. Dipsters are also the only burrowing monsters, and were spared from the Battle of the Continent. Now fast forwards a few hundred generations. The dipsters, with apparently their extensive underground libraries, were the only monsters who remembered what the WERDO'S did. Naturally, they tried to warn other monsters to avoid future calamities. However, the WERDO'S locked them up in cages to prevent them from spreading the truth, which is why you can unlock them with keys. But why can't the WERDO'S round them up and lock them up again, many people ponder. That's why dipsters are so timid in the light and disguise their burrows with natural objects. It's to evade further capture by their former jailers. Now all that evidence seems pretty sturdy until you think about why the dipsters just won't tell anyone else about the WERDO'S even though they're free. Maybe they're still too scared. We may never know the truth. After all, it may just be a game. Now that's about everything in regards to the WERDO'S, Dawn of Fire, relics, and dipsters. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you really liked it, make sure to hit the like button. And if you want to see more theories, compositions, and various other My Singing Monster themed fun, then please hit subscribe. This has been Creeptanium, and I'll see you guys on the flip side.